When people talk about computers seeing or recognizing objects, what is actually happening is far more mechanical and far less like human perception than the language suggests. A camera does not capture objects, meaning, or color in the way a human does. It captures only a grid of numerical values representing light intensity at different pixel locations. Each frame of video or photograph is nothing more than an array of numbers. For the computer, there is no cat, no face, no tree, no person, only numerical patterns arranged in space. Object recognition in a computer is therefore not perception or understanding, but statistical pattern matching performed on these numerical grids. Neural networks apply layers of mathematical operations to the pixel values, searching for regularities that correlate with patterns seen in past training data. When a system detects a car, what it actually outputs is a probability value that the current numerical pattern closely resembles the numerical patterns it previously associated with the label car. The computer never knows what a car is. It never perceives shape, purpose, danger, or meaning. It only transforms numbers into other numbers according to learned statistical rules. This works at all only because the physical world is structured and consistent. Real objects create stable regularities in light, such as edges, shading, motion, and proportions. These regularities imprint themselves into pixel data in repeatable ways, and machine learning systems exploit those repeatable patterns mathematically. But the computer is not aware of any of this. There is no inner visual world inside the machine. There is only data flowing through circuits. This is fundamentally different from how biological vision works. In a human, photons are converted into neural activity, and that neural activity produces conscious experience. Color, depth, motion, and form are not present in the light itself, but are constructed by the brain as lived sensation. When you see red, there is an actual qualitative experience taking place. When a computer processes an image of something red, there is only a numerical change in memory and voltage. No subjective experience occurs at any stage. This same distinction becomes critical when applied to simulations. In ray tracing, everything begins as numbers describing rays, surfaces, angles, and lighting equations. There is no light, no color, and no image at that level, only symbolic computation. It is only when those numbers are sent to a physical graphics card and a real display that photons are produced. Only when those photons strike a biological retina does color and visual experience arise. A simulation without physical realization is therefore experientially empty. Numbers alone do not generate sensation. This is why an ordinary AI or robot does not see a world in the way a human does. It only ever processes numerical representations of sensory inputs. Even if it is connected to cameras and microphones, everything it receives is immediately converted into voltages and numbers and treated as data. There is no inner observer to whom a world appears. To say that a robot sees is only a metaphor for data processing. If a simulated entity were given direct access to raw computational memory, it would indeed only ever access numbers. If it were instead given a rendered sensory interface that mimics physics, it would still only be receiving structured numerical data unless it also had a true mechanism for conscious experience. A simulated human brain, if it perfectly reproduced the causal dynamics of biological neurons, could in principle experience a world, because it would replicate the physical processes that give rise to sensation. But a standard AI system would not, because it lacks that biological or equivalent substrate. All object recognition in computers therefore reduces to pattern recognition in numbers. There is no genuine seeing, no understanding, and no awareness involved, only computation. Humans experience a world because biology converts physical signals into conscious experience. Machines do not experience anything at all. They only transform numerical input into numerical output. This is the deepest difference between biological perception and artificial intelligence, and it is why the gap between processing data and experiencing a world remains unresolved.